All right, so let's hear from some amazing people on our team. So first of all, we're going to do distributor enrollment. So I'm just going to kind of go in order. So Alexis, if you want to kick us off, tell us what whoa, tell us what you're doing to sign distributors, and just give us all the good stuff. I don't really have any specific questions. Just kind of give us some tips.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of talk about two different things. One I'm going to talk about is kind of just attracting distributors and just getting them in your inbox in the first place. And then I want to talk about actually sealing the deal. So the first thing is I do not message for any distributors. I only message for loyal customers. And a lot of the distributors that I sign, well, actually like all of them, come from my story and just my regular feed on Instagram. I've also kind of started to use Facebook, but not like a lot yet. So everything kind of comes from Instagram. The only time that I will bring the business up to somebody is if I'm messaging them to be like a product model and they tell me that they don't have the money, then I will bring it up to them. But otherwise, I want them coming to me rather than me going to them. So with my story, I post on that twice a day. I do something about the business, I do something about the products, and then I also just put some like filler stuff in there just about like my life and stuff like that. And it kind of depends on the time of month for which one I lead with. So right now it's the beginning of the month, so I'm super focused on just getting distributors and getting the potentials and stuff like that. So every morning when I get up, I post something on my story about the business. And when I'm posting about the business, it's always some form of either my story, or I really like posting about other people's stories too, because I think it's important just for people to see that other people are succeeding in this business too, rather than just you. So I like to do that a lot. And then I'm always sharing my full drawn out story at least once a month, or not once a month, once a week. I either do it on Fridays. I like doing it on Fridays because a lot of people get paid on Fridays. So that's a way that I usually get people to sign up on the spot, or I will do it on Sunday because Sunday is kind of a lazy day for most people and they're just kind of scrolling through their Instagram, their Facebook, whatever it is. So that's a way that I get a lot of potentials. And then my feed, it's very similar to my story, but I don't post very many product pictures. It's very much just about the business. I do post some product pictures, but it's very a select few products and it's very few in between. So one thing that I think has helped me the most, just getting a lot of potentials, is giving myself a short-term goal and then sharing my journey as I have been accomplishing that goal. So if you guys follow me on Instagram or you're my friend on Facebook, you'd probably see that I'm paying my car off. And that post, just posting about me paying my car off alone, gets me about 5 to 6 potentials just off that post, because I talk mostly about the payments that I make. And in this world, probably a lot, if not most people, have a car payment. And like me, I struggled a lot with my car payment before this business. And I couldn't do a lot of things because I had to pay this car payment. And a lot of people can probably relate to that. So by me posting about these large car payments that I'm making, it like sparks people's interest and they want to know what I'm doing to make those car payments. So that's one thing that I think has really gotten me a lot of potentials, is just having that goal and then sharing my journey as I am accomplishing it. And then after I get them interested and they're in my inbox, we've talked a little bit, I just use the script that's on Dare to Be Diamond. I have since day one. I have tweaked it a little bit, but it's pretty much the same. You guys can just like ignore my cat back there. I know he's like licking himself.
Cracking up at your cat. I was about to say something.
just I can like turn it, but whatever. Okay, what was I saying? Okay, the script, the Dare to Be Diamond script, if you guys haven't seen that one, definitely use that, because I've used that since day one and it's always worked. And then after that, after I've talked to him for a little bit, I will follow up with them one time. And it's usually because, kind of like loyal customers, people will just stop responding to you. So I usually, the day after I've talked to them, I send them just like a little reminder text just to see if they're still interested, if they forgot to text me back because life got in the way, whatever it might be. And then after that follow-up, I will invite them to our Sunday party. And I really like our Sunday parties, especially the new way that we're going to start doing them. Because like I said, with my story in my feed, I like sharing other people's stories. And the Sunday party allows for people to see like other people's stories in real time rather than you posting about their story. They can see the actual person themselves telling their story and what the business has done for them. So I really like those. It gets me a lot of enrollments just from the Sunday party and getting all of those people to them. I usually invite them on Sunday morning. I've tried doing them on like Fridays and Saturdays, but I find that people give me a lot of excuses of why they can't go, even though it's just on Facebook. So I usually wait until Sunday morning to invite all of those people. And then on Monday after the party, I follow up just to see where they're at, if they're ready to join, if they have any questions, just kind of to see where their head is at. And then after that, I just follow up with them once a month if we have any like promo codes going on with like the $50 thing. If we have any kits that are going on, then I'll follow up with them as well. And yeah, that's kind of all that I have.
That was really good. Thank you. I loved what you said about I always follow up with them the day after just in case life got in the way. I love that you said that because how many times post a one in the comments in the chat if you're like, oh my gosh, they didn't reply to me, they hate me, and this sucks, and I'm not good at this business, and they're just never going to be interested. But I love that Alexis is like giving them the benefit of the doubt. They're like, oh, the life probably just got in the way because that's the only reason why they wouldn't reply to me. Like, you know, and even though like maybe they're just not interested, just her mindset with that is keeping her from being discouraged, right? Like if she had this mindset of like, well, they're just, nobody's responding to me. That's different than let me message them and remind them that I'm here in case life got in the way. I loved that. That was just a little thing that you said. But anyways, and the other thing was you said that you don't message for distributors because you want them to come to you. I agree with that. And I'm the same way. Can you just really quick tell us why?
Just because I feel like when they come to you, they're ready to join this business and they've probably been watching you for a while and they probably got to a time in their life where they need this. So when they come to you, like I said, they're at that time in their life where they want to join, where if we were to message them first, it's not like forcing them to join, but they're not going to want it and work for it as much as if they were to come to you.
100%. And then Beth had asked what you use to edit your stories. Is it Over or?
Yeah, I normally use Over. I use Unfold sometimes, but I've really gotten into Over a lot because I like all the different stuff that you can do with it. So yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I love Over too. So if you want to write those down, the names are Over and Unfold. Those are two of the apps that we use for stories. I use those too. If you want to go look at my YouTube, I have a Instagram video that talks about how to use Over a little bit. You can also just look up a tutorial. And Katie loves Mojo, and I know Glory loves Mojo too. I have not figured out how to work Mojo yet. So if anyone wants to do a little training on that later, just let me know. Okay, so let's talk to Sarah really quick. Let me find you. Where are you at? Is she on here? I'm assuming she is. If you're on here, just unmute yourself. I see Sarah's phone, so I'm assuming that's her because there's Sarah Lay too. Where is she? Okay, well, you all see her? Hannah, text her. I see her name on here, but I don't see her box. Okay. Oh yeah, now I do, but her video's off, so I'm not sure. She's at the like botanical gardens or something right now, I think. Okay, well, we can skip her if we need to.
She just said, wait, is this me? I think she's confused.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I think she's about to. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, Busch Gardens. What did I say?
Botanical gardens.
What is the botanical
gardens? Sorry, I'm in the car.
You're good.
So if you hear some random GPS, it's fine. I'm just trying to get back to my place. But I agree with her with everything she said. Basically, I just talked to Adriana about this a second ago. Can you guys hear me at all?
Yes, but where are you? I cannot find your video.
I'm in the car, so it's super dark.
Oh, I see you. It's okay. I'm just gonna put it on spotlight so it's not my face. Okay, you're good.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're good.
So, I was just talking to Adriana, and this kind of goes with signing DTs. It's about, wow, this is weird. I look really fuzzy. Sorry. It's about training your new DTs. So I've made a lot of mistakes with signing people and then being like, oh my God, yay, new DT, filling my chart. But make sure you're actually pouring into them and not just signing them just to fill a box. Because the same training that somebody gave you, even if they didn't give it to you and you had to figure it all out yourself, make sure that you're pouring into them. And number one, it's less work for you, but it's also going to get them excited and ready to work, and it's going to benefit them too. And about signing DTs, I've reached out to a bunch of people, and I find that when you reach out to them and don't wait for them to reach out to you, that you're going to get ghosted, or they're going to sign and then they're going to ghost you because they weren't ready for it or they didn't really want it. And regardless if they come back to you or not, it's better just to wait for them to come to you and for when they're actually ready, because then they're going to be runners. So yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for hanging out with us, even though I know you're like super busy probably with your family. But so one thing I want to hit on with that I know that she would totally agree with is, you know, we talk about like getting them to come to you, and I know that Alexis talked about that too. But it's not that they're just like sitting there posting once a month and people are just like flocking to them. Okay. Like you have to be consistent. And so they're getting people to come to them because their content is interesting. They're not just posting about the business. Alexis kind of hit on that too. She fills it in with like different stuff. And, they're putting out their story, they're being relatable, they're talking about things people care about, and so people are coming to them. So you can't just expect people to flock to you. And if you're just newer in the business and you've only been in for a couple of weeks, just know that it takes time. Don't get discouraged if you get off the Zoom and you're like, oh, I posted my story once and nobody, was interested, because they're watching you and they want to see you be consistent for a long time. And if you think back to whenever you joined the business, you put a 2 in the chat if you joined the business the very first time you ever heard about it. Not the first time you talked to your enroller, but the first time you ever heard about it. Okay, Katie is a 1 in a million. So nobody joins usually the first time that they ever hear about it. And a lot of people need to see you be consistent for a very long time. Okay, so the next one is loyal customer enrollments. Morgan Gill, do you want to go first? Okay. She was killing it at the end of last month with her loyal customers. She was signing 3 a minute. So we're just going to hear about all her stuff that she was doing.
Okay. So I actually wrote down some tips. I thought about what was working for me. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Because I was literally like, when something's going good for you, you need to stop and analyze and think about what's going good for you so you can continue that. So one of the things that I think everybody needs to do, because I know there's some new people on here, you need to run an auto shipment and get these products in your own hands so you can have testimonials. Like even if it's just verbal, if you don't have pictures yet, just being able to talk about the products and say what it tastes like, what it does, being able to look at the nutrition label and know what's in it. And I know you can do that on the website too, but it's better to say, yeah, I use this. People are more likely to buy something from you that you use. And almost every single time I talk to an LC, I talk about how I use it, because there's very few products that I haven't tried. Each auto shipment, I try to get something new. So I've tried everything, and especially our hot products like our keto coffee, our thermophyte eggs. I mean, I'm sure y'all tried all of that, but even our new cleanse, y'all need to try that so you can be able to go back and say, hey, I know what this tastes like, So that's one of the things that I use for signing LCs, because people really, and BFF. I just made some really good fat bombs from Best Fat Fuel today because I'm on keto and it's been amazing. But they are so good. It's on the Live Fit app. And by the way, y'all need to download the Live Fit app if y'all don't have that yet, because it is super freaking awesome. They have really, really good recipes and good workouts. I've never tried the workouts, but the recipes are awesome. But also, my other tip, go big at first. So when you're talking about prices, when they're asking you about keto coffee, go big. Give them everything. Talk about the full month, with the chocolate greens, maybe even talk about the Thermofite X and give them a full big price at first, because you never know their budget. And that's something I've had to teach myself, because I signed like 2 120s in like less than a day, because I went in and I just gave them the full price and I didn't even give them another option. And they were like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. And like I never would have done that first, because like that kind of like $147 would be expensive to me, but that might not be expensive to somebody else. So always go big at first, and then when you reduce the price later, if they say they can't do it, it sounds cheaper to them. So it's all mindset. So definitely go big at first. Offer the triple threat, offer the full month of keto coffee. That means 2 bags, chocolate greens 2. So, and even throw in maybe the Thermofite X upsell, like at first. So let me see what else I've got. Okay. Also, be real. Ask them their goals, then tell them how to use the products from your experience. So like I use the products almost every single day, literally every day. I might not use every single product every day, but I use at least one product every day. And I can tell them, based on what their goals are, how they can use the products and incorporate them into their lifestyle from my experience. That goes back to auto shipment too, but make sure you're asking them their goals so you can tell them how easy it is to incorporate these products into their lifestyle, because it really is truly easy. They're just replacing their breakfast with coffee, and they probably already drink coffee, or taking a pill, and they probably have taken medication before, for Thermofite X. So like just tell them how easy it is after you ask them their goals and you recommend products. But also I want to talk about how I share on social media what diet I'm on, what current thing I'm doing. Even if you're not on a diet, I'm sure you probably try to be healthy, try to exercise some. Share about that, because people get really inspired by that, and a lot of people will follow people who are motivating and who they look up to. So make sure that you're talking about the diets you're on and how it's working for you, and also talk about the products. I'm sure you're talking about the products too, but like kind of just make it all like a big thing, like, oh, this is all incorporated into my diet. Like, because my thing right now on my page is keto. Like, everything that I'm doing is keto right now. And I talk about how I go and I exercise and what I'm doing for my exercise. And I actually wrote an article for a website on the keto diet, how I did that for a month. I signed 2 customers off of that, guys. They literally saw my article and came back to me. I was like, okay, you're doing keto. What products should I be using? And I told them like a whole lot of products. And that's one of the ways that I sold one of my 120s, 120 BVs. But that really works to talk about what you're doing and what diet you're on, because I'm sure some of y'all are on like low carb. And if you're not, give it a try and talk about it, because that can boost followers too. But also share what you would want to see from someone else, like on your page. Because when I think about what I'm sharing, like what would I want to see from somebody else? And a lot of times what I would want to see is stuff like fitness stuff, because that's what I like. And so stuff that I like, I'm going to be able to talk about better. So think about what you would like to see and post that, okay? And then also like healthy food and stuff like that and recipes. I want to see that. So that's what I'm going to post about. So just think about stuff that you like and then post about that so people will want to follow you. And that's about all I have. Oh, so one more thing. Have a call to action at the end of every post, okay? That's it.
That's so good. Will you explain really quick what a call to action is, or like give an example of like a good one versus like, I don't know, just an example of a good one?
I always like at the end of like business posts, I always say text opportunity or leave a comment, drop an emoji in the comments. I almost always tell them to drop an emoji in the comments or message me, because I don't want people to get discouraged if they see that someone hasn't commented. They're like, oh, I kind of want to comment, but nobody else has commented. I always tell them to either message me too, because I want to give them that option. But actually, I get most of my interest from messages. So I tell them to message me. I don't tell them where. Most of the time I just say message me, and they message me on Messenger, just because it's easier and I feel like it's more informal and people just like doing that better. So I just tell them to message me at the end if they're interested, and that's a call to action. Tell them what to do to get information.
I love that. And I love what you said about going big. Like, go big at the beginning, because you can always talk them down. So the other day, and y'all, this is so funny because I literally thought about y'all. So I had this girl, this is on like Sunday, and I'm pushing for volume, right? It's the end of the month. I'm like, let's go. So I'm talking to this lady on Facebook. She was one that I had followed up with because I talked to her back in February and she ghosted me. Followed back up with her. She said she was interested in weight loss. She said, but I need whatever's the cheapest. And I said, here's what our weight. So my first instinct was, I'll just tell her ThermoFight X. And I was like, my team would kill me if I did not do what I teach them to do. Because I always tell y'all, do not assume somebody's budget for them. Do not assume what somebody can afford. And I told this lady about this weight loss pack, $147. She said, I'm in. What do you need? People that want to lose weight are willing to put the money into something, even if they don't necessarily have the money. They will do it for the confidence. Like, they want to have that feeling of being confident and feeling satisfied with who they are. And, like, obviously, whatever. But anyways, it was just really cool whenever we were talking about that, because I was like, that would have been a missed opportunity, because she would have got that ThermoFight. But she also got that weight loss pack. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't assume that. And one girl told me a long time ago, and that's why I stick to this, because somebody told me, they're like, just try it. Just try it. And I was so scared, but this girl said she needed whatever was the cheapest. She had no budget. She was just did not have any money. Those were her words. I offered this system, which is $147 as well. And that girl got that and added on hair, skin, and nails with her low budget. I was like, okay, I'm never doing just one product again when somebody says they don't have money, because that means something different to everyone.
Yeah.
So I love that you said that, Morgan. Awesome. Okay, Allie, you are next, my love. Let me see. Oh, let me make sure that she's on. Allie, if you're on, you can just unmute yourself and turn your video on. There you are. Oh, where'd you go? I just saw her. Hang on. Oh, there you are. She's getting where she can talk.
Hey, sorry.
You're good. Okay. Tell us how, so Allie had a really cool breakthrough last month, and she just started signing, like, she was like, I just signed like 18 triple threats. And I was like, okay, well, cool. How did you do that? So I want her to share all of her tips with you on how she just like exploded and started signing all these like really high volume orders.
Yeah, so I felt like I worked my business mainly through Instagram just for a while, because like just from when I like my Facebook is mostly family and I just like prefer Instagram. So for a while I had my profile to where it was private, so I could like see people like when they would add me or like whatever. And then it just got to a point where I just felt stuck. Like my enrollments weren't where I wanted them to be whatsoever. And like I wasn't really getting any more interaction, but I had like 6,000 followers, and I'm like, okay, like what in the world? So I came across like basically Tiffany, her, and Morgan's video, and it talked about like interaction as far as like how social media has turned into like more of like a blogging like platform. So I turned both of my profiles public, and then I started doing their tips where you add like on every single story I post, unless it's like super informational and I can't fit it, there's always like a GIF on there. Music, over, I hashtag like 40 hashtags and like put them behind like the GIF because it can like overlay it. I started adding hashtags to my pictures. If I posted like a picture from the gym, instead of like just not tagging like people, like if I'm wearing like Adidas shoes, like I would tag like Adidas, or like if I'm wearing like Nike flip-flops, like I would tag like Nike in the corner, or even like if there wasn't anything like there like in the picture, then I would like find something that like relates with my lifestyle and like tag that. Or like if I'm at Starbucks, instead of tagging the Starbucks that I'm at, because I'm sure like every single other picture that I posted is in like the same area where I live, I would tag like a Starbucks in like Las Vegas or something like that. And then the people like that are looking for like certain things, when they look it up, your pictures and your posts come up, and then they find your profile and they interact with you. And it brought so much interaction to my page that people were actually like seeing what I was interested in, or and seeing and being interested in what I was posting, which I already knew that they were, but my posts weren't being seen. My like stories weren't being seen, even though I was being like, you know, consistent with my posting and everything, just because of how social media works with its algorithms. So like kind of changing up like little things here and there, like tagging different things, using all the methods that social media has. All of my things have been seen more, and so the people that were interested before that I have followed up with, now it's popping up on their timeline, and they were like, oh yeah, I did want to lose weight, and they were like in like immediately when I follow up with them.
I love that. I just had the biggest aha moment ever whenever you said that you would tag like that you were at a Starbucks in Vegas or something, or like California. I never thought.
Yeah, and then like all of our pictures from Florida, like I tagged like different parts of like the Tampa Bay, because obviously like we were in Tampa, so like one, it would be like Tampa Bay Arena, or like if I posted another picture like with Zoe or whatever, it would be like St. Petersburg, just like the surrounding like areas, or like like, so I live in Loganville, Georgia, but it like comes up like multiple things, like where did you see him?
Casually jumping in the bed behind you.
When I'm muted, he thinks that I'm talking to all of you like a FaceTime, and so he talks. But like I would tag like different areas, so like instead of like always tagging like where I live, because like social media picks it up, I would tag like different surrounding cities or like different like places, and it pops up on their timelines too, because it's public.
That's such a good idea. I'm going to start doing that, because I definitely just do the same location all the time. And I'm going to get a lot of interaction, because people are going to be like, you're in Vegas? I'll be like, nope. That's so funny. Okay, cool. So let's see who's next. Let's talk about mindset. Let's go with Hannah first. And then we have Taylor and then Morgan Williams. So, Hannah, I know where you are. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect.
You're good.
I think I'm going to pull up. I have a few notes that I'm going to share. So for me in this business here lately, mindset has been my biggest area of growth. I feel like just because I've learned how to think differently, and I kind of did a live on that on Dare to Be Diamond a while back, but y'all, your mindset in this business is what's gonna take you to the top. And one of the things that I have realized and that I've been preaching to my team is that you cannot be self-centered and successful at the same time. Those two mindsets do not mesh, and it will not work. So what I mean by that is, so last month my goal, Clay's picking on me because my hands are going. Last month, my goal was to promote to Diamond, and I came very close. I worked a lot harder last month than I had in the months prior, and I fell short. So I didn't promote to Diamond. But one thing that I was telling Taylor earlier is that I feel like I won on so many levels because my team got so much closer. I got closer to so many girls on my team, and a lot of them are running 100%. And for me, that just made me so much more excited for July. And even though the bonus is gone and whatever, like, I'm so excited to work this business and promote Diamond in July. And I am focusing more on my team rather than, oh, I need to promote, oh, I need to get that bonus. It's not my paycheck, my promotion, my business. It's, let me help my team. Let me help these people who want to lose weight. Let me help whoever else. But my point is, when you focus on other people and you focus on helping them versus, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, your business is literally going to take off, and you are going to be so much more successful. Because, like I said, you can't be self-centered and expect your business to grow. You can't build yourself to presidential all by yourself. Like, if you do, go you, but I can't do that. You have to have help, and that help is going to come from people who want to hear you, who want you to be their leader. And if you're not someone that's approachable, if you're not someone that someone wants to come to for advice, to come for help, just to talk about life in general, like, I know Morgan and Morgan both are really good about, texting you and reaching out about how's life going, like, how's this. They know what school you go to. They know what your major is. They know what you want to do. It's not just, okay, how close are you to Emerald? How close are you to this? Like that, you're not a rank. You're not a 400 box. And you don't want to treat somebody else like that because you are not putting forth good leadership skills and you're not going to get to where you want to be.
That's so good. I love that. And Cami Pentecost said one time it was something like, love the people more than you love the income and you'll get both, or something like that. And I love that because she's so good at just like loving people. And she's like, if you just like, the more that you love them, the income just follows. Like the income will come with that. But I love that. So, okay, Taylor, thank you so much. Taylor, where are you at? Oh, there you are. I'm going to spotlight your video.
All right. I agree with Hannah. Like, this past month started talking to my DTs a lot more about like how their life was. And hold on, my computer's gonna die. I like talked to them about how their life was and how like not just treating them like they were a box, like she said. I also I've talked to Beth a lot because my mindset always hasn't been great in the past. Like I've had a lot of hard things happen since I've started the business that have kind of just made me be like, oh, well, whatever, it's here. Like, yeah, I'll work it, but I wasn't constantly like working it like a full-time job. And the main thing that Beth always told me was like, get all the negative thoughts out of your head. Like, yeah, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have times that you aren't motivated. You don't really think that you deserve this business, but obviously this business was put in your life for a reason. Like, if something bad happens, get rid of it. Like, just instantly go do self-development, go listen to a podcast, listen to Zoom, anything. Like, read a book, read anything that will make you feel better, listen to music, whatever it is, spend like 2 minutes getting rid of it and then just drop it. Like, make sure that you stay positive. I also have like learned a lot more to stay motivated, and when I'm motivated, it helps my mindset go up a lot more. Like, if I tell myself daily, like, because I'm shooting for diamond, I, like Hannah, fell short last month, but this month it's happening. And so like, stay motivated, stay working towards your goals, and the more motivated you are, the better mindset you're going to have. Like, speak good things over yourself. Tell yourself every day, like right when you wake up, tell yourself that you're worthy, that you deserve this business, you deserve this promotion, you deserve everything that's coming, and it's going to happen. If you're going to think, oh, I don't need this, I don't deserve to have customers, like I'm not working very hard, I don't deserve all these people, I don't deserve volume, then you're not going to sign it. But if you continue to think, oh, I am worthy of this, I am strong, I deserve customers, I deserve DTs, then they're going to come. Like, it might take time and you're going to get a lot of no's, but if you continue to think that it's going to happen, then it's going to happen and you're going to get a lot of yeses. So just remember that you're worthy and you deserve this business. And if you're going for a promotion this month, you're going to hit it. Don't think that you're not. Don't think that, oh, maybe it'll happen next month. No, it is the beginning of the month, and where everybody that's on this team that is trying to promote is going to get this promotion. So, yeah.
Thank you. I love it. And if y'all ever want to watch The Secret, that will change your life. It's on YouTube. It's on Netflix. It talks about not saying, what you don't want, just kind of like what Taylor said, like speak what you do want. Talk about the promotion that you're going to get. Don't think, well, I really hope that I don't miss this promotion, because the subject of that thought is missing a promotion. And the more that whatever you think about, you bring about. So if you think like on the way to work, you're like, I hope that I don't hit any red lights. What are you thinking about? Red lights. So you're going to hit a lot of red lights. But if you keep thinking, I want to hit green lights, the idea is the same, but you're thinking about what you do want instead of what you don't want. Yeah, Morgan, if you have like a video from her, definitely do that. I love Denise. She's the best. Okay, so Morgan Williams, we were talking on the phone today, and she said something really cool, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was so good. I want you to share that tonight. So I'm going to spotlight your video, and you can unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So this past month, like I was telling Morgan earlier, I know that I was just really like going through the motions. And obviously, like, especially now, like, I've realized there's a really big difference between just doing something for the sake of like checking it off, like doing your six list just for the sake of getting it done, and then doing it with like passion and intention. Because if you're going into it, just like Morgan was saying a minute ago, if you're going into it with a negative attitude, you're going to bring about negative things. So if you're going into it with like a really positive attitude, then you're going to bring positive things into your business. What you focus on is what's going to manifest in your business. So if you just like I said, if you have a really negative attitude, the things that you want are not going to come. And also, like, you're going to hit hard things in this business. Like, no matter what you're doing in life, like, hard things are going to come. And if you're not filling yourself up, then you're not going to be able to pour into your team. So doing self-development is so important. And Morgan and I were talking about that earlier today. Like, it is so necessary. And I can tell a really big difference in my business now. And then when I started in the beginning, not even just with like my like commitment to self-development. In the beginning, I had no clue what I was doing, but I was so passionate about it and so stinking excited, and I just talked about it all the time, and people can feed off of that. Like customers, like potential distributors, they can feel that like in the way that you talk. So it's so important to be really positive and that you're filling yourself up with good things. So personal development is so important, and make sure that you're making that a priority, because I've heard before, I'm not sure where, but someone said that your paycheck will never exceed your personal development. So make sure that you are always doing that. That's more important, or just as important as sending out your messages and posting and all of that. So yeah.
That is so good. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know that like hit home for me whenever we were talking. I was like, dang, that's so true. Because like you can easily just go through the motions because you know what you're supposed to do, and you just do it without any like passion behind it. So I love that. Okay, Emily. Ooh, let me go see where you are. I just saw you. Let me make sure she's still on here. Oh, there she is. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about staying organized?
Sure. Okay. So about 2 months ago, I know Morgan Martin talks a lot about her planners and like staying organized that way, and I've used a lot of her tips. So if you've seen her videos and things, that's pretty much what I've been going off of for about 2 months. And I feel like it's really helped me grow in my business, not just with like getting everything done each day, my 6 list, but also writing down like my potentials and making sure I follow up with them, because following up is always key. And Morgan's live this morning also reminded me of that. So if you haven't seen that, you should check that out. But like, I write down my 6 list, I write down my host to post, and I also write down my potentials. So then like on my host to post, I can go back and I can check the comments, follow up on those, put before and after pictures, and then my potentials, I usually follow up using like the 2-day, 2-week, 2-month. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, and I feel like it's changed a lot and helped me grow in my business these past 2 months.
Thank you. I love that. And a lot of times, like, we just get confused because we don't really know, like, what we're looking at. We forget people's names, so just writing them down is so important. Okay, Rachel, do you want to talk about being busy in your life and doing this business?
Yes. Okay, so can you guys hear me okay? I have a really loud fan on because it's so freaking hot in my house. So being busy. We are all busy. Everyone has the same exact amount of 24 hours. It's how you use those 24 hours. I'm so loves my fan. And so, like, I work about 55 hours a week. And I'm involved in my church. Like, I help do some leadership stuff in there too. So I have these busy things. So I have to make time for it. And I know that sometimes the busier that I am, the more I'm working this business because I have to fit it in. So Something I do in the morning. I wake up before I even open my eyes. Like, I'm in my bed and I open my phone and I do happy birthdays and I do some sort of interaction because that's mindless and it can be super simple. And then I roll out of bed. I have keto coffee every morning. So I always post that. So like, I'm blending it into my life. I'm not like creating a section like, here, this is my, I have to be at work and this is my, I have to do this. So like, I'm blending it in. Unfortunately, with my job, it's really hard for me to be on my phone. So I have an amazing team under me that helps all the other girls out. They know when I'm at work, it's really hard. So I have things set in place that it's hard for me to answer during those times. But I, for follow-up, something new I've started, and for keeping track of like my messaging is a tally on a calendar. Like, so that kind of goes back to Emily's organization. Staying organized has also helped me a ton. But like, for my 6 list, I like to send out at least 100 messages. So I tally them instead of writing everyone's name down and getting all of this. Like, I've started that and that's been super helpful. And just, I make my core group of friends aware of what I do and why I'm doing this. And that's been super helpful for me. Because I live a busy lifestyle and I love community. I love my community. They know how much I love them, but they also know how important this business is to me. So I've literally had friends say, Rachel, I haven't seen you post on your Insta story about It Works. And I'm like, shoot, okay. Like, but it's because I've communicated that with them and they know why I want this and they know I have a busy lifestyle. And so if they realize you should probably say no to this, Rachel, I'm like, okay. And then I set aside an hour. So another thing, 1 structured hour a day, you can do it, whether it's before bedtime, whether it's in the morning before you go to work, you can find 1 hour that you can pick up your phone. What I do is I put my phone on Do Not Disturb so that I don't get any notifications from anything else and I just work. And so that is just, there are so many sweet little tips. You just have to find what works for you and you have to stick with it and you have to be consistent. Another thing I just started helping my consistency and my time management, and I'll wrap this up quick, is creating very small goals for myself. Morgan and I just talked about this on the phone. Creating very small goals. Something like, okay, if I'm consistent for 7 days and I do my 6 list for 7 days, I'm going to reward myself and I'm going to go get my nails done. Or if I sign this many DTs by this deadline, something small, I'll do this. It just creates that reward. You want it to be fun. And I noticed, like, when I posted that freaking, I don't know if you guys saw, but when I posted that, 2 days left for the Yeti cooler, you guys, I got over 200 comments. I was pulling out my hair in a good way. But I was like, I'm having so much fun. I literally told Jasmine, I was like, I'm a nicer person when I'm working this business and I'm having fun. But you have to find the time. And I had to do it. I had to find the time. I had to literally verbally say to myself, no, Rachel, you need to say no to that. You need to stay home and you need to do this because your why is more important. The end.
Ooh, that's good. And so many people are not willing to do that. So you have to make those small sacrifices now. Say no to small things now so you can say yes to really big things later. Okay. Elisa, do you want to talk about mom guilt real fast? We're getting down to the wire, so I'm not going to say much.
Okay. So I've struggled with mom guilt a lot this month because the kids are out of school. And I know not everybody has moms. Not everybody has kids on here, but I'm sure one day you might, or you have a husband and there's wife guilt too. My husband actually says that he suffers from the guilt too. Well, he did when he was working because he worked and then he'd come home and he would feel guilty about still thinking about work. So it really hit home this month because, and I might cry, but I've been pushing for this promotion so hard that I was neglecting my kids and I didn't even realize it until my son, he said he made a comment and he was just being super, he didn't mean anything by it, but he was like, we're a problem. I was like, I never, ever want y'all to feel like y'all are a problem. Because we were talking about me not able to get my work done. It's like, I never want them to feel like a problem. And so, yeah. But, so what I'm just trying to do, and it seems to be helping, but it's like just setting my phone down and just spending intentional time with just them. And then also incorporating them into the business. Lily, my youngest, we make our coffee together every single morning on my stories. And it has been the best. Every single morning, somebody messages me. I actually had someone message me yesterday and was like, your daughter's morning coffee is my favorite part of the day now. So, and then we do the thermometer thing too. So my kids get to like color in the thermometer every day. Just getting them involved has been such a game changer for us. So if you have kids and they're old enough, I mean, even if they're 2, they can color. So get them involved. Let them make your coffee. Include them into the business, and it's helped out a lot.
I love that. You're an awesome mom, by the way. She has 5 kids, guys. She has her hands full, but she does it all so well. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us and being vulnerable like that. And I know Carrie Young, if y'all want to follow her on Facebook, and Elisa, they both do a really good job at like incorporating their kids. I know Carrie Young does a lot with her sons too, with the coffee thing, and they make their coffee or their chocolate greens together, and that's super cute. And she just goes live and talks about the business or whatever. So that's super cool. All right, last topic really fast, guys. I know we're kind of going over a little bit, but stick around because this is gonna be really good, and make sure that you take a screenshot. Don't forget to take your picture for your 5 entries. Don't forget. Okay, so last topic is on leadership. Glory, I can start with you, and let me just make sure that Beth is on so she can go next. What's up, girl?
Hi. Okay, I'm gonna try to say this without talking too much. So basically, like, you know, when you start this business, it's inevitable that you are gonna grow in all aspects. Like, you know, we all joined this business for like selfish reasons. Like it's our why. Like, I want this business because I want to do this, that, and the third. And I feel like it's really easy when you're just getting started out that like you don't realize that like it's not just about you. Like, in order to grow, especially in this business setup, you need team members. You can't get I've never heard of anyone who got to presidential triple and above by themselves. Like, it's extremely hard. You need team members. You need to be very intentional about how you're treating your team. And that's something that I didn't get until like just like a month ago, recently. Because the way I was approaching my team members is like from a selfish place. Like, I was just like, okay, like, I just need you to get like 3 orders. Like, okay, let's just do this. Like, we need this promotion. And, you know, I wasn't seeing them past like, you can actually like go Ruby. No, screw that. You can go Diamond this month, girl. Like, what are you doing? And like talking to them and like, you know, asking them like, well, what's holding you back? Like, why aren't you doing this? Or like, what's like life like? What's going on with you? Like, you know, all of that. And so what I've been doing more this month is, first of all, I made some notes. You need a group chat. You definitely need a group chat to be able to communicate with your team. You know, keep it hype, like, you know, send some inspirational quotes, like whatever it's on your mind, yada, yada, yada. And power hours. Like, it doesn't matter, like, y'all, not everybody on your team needs to be hopping on power hours with you. Just offer that option. Like, you know, I'm going to be hosting a power hour, and whoever shows up, shows up. And whoever shows up, you work with them and you pour into them and you love on them. Team Zooms. I didn't start weekly team Zooms until like 2 weeks ago. Like, can you imagine? I've been in this business for 8 months and I wasn't even doing team Zooms with my team, and then like inviting leaders to talk. I feel like that, which has been really great. I can just feel a difference in like my leadership. And also something that Morgan told me is like, you know, connecting with your leaders on a different level, on a deeper level, like, you know, get on the phone with them, talk about like what's going on in their life. Like, you know, how's school, or how's this, that, and the third. And like, you know, and that leads to even like them asking you more questions like, okay, well, I'm really struggling in like, you know, enrolling customers or enrolling DTs. Like, my mindset is really sucky right now. Like, what can I do? And then like, you know, then you draw from like your experiences of what you've gone through, and like, you know, I really get you, girl. Like, I've been through this, and like, still going through it, and like, this is what I do to help me. And yeah, you cannot come from a place of selfishness, you guys. Like, you, of course, we still want these promotions for ourselves. because like it's going to be life changing. But like, you know, reality check, you can't get there without your team, and they want these promotions for a reason too. So you have to want these promotions for like equally for your team and as for you. And like once those two meet together, I think that you will do really great things with your team, and y'all like the connection is going to be deeper because y'all know each other, you feel each other's like pains and successes and all that, and you will just grow together. So yeah, sorry, I hope that was not too long.
No, you're good. That was perfect. And I have 100% been there too. Leadership is one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life. It is definitely a process that we're all going through. So I love that. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Beth, close us out, girl.
I just got home, so it's like perfect timing. So leadership is something that I have personally struggled with a lot. Like, first of all, if you don't know your color, you got to figure it out now, because you need to know what your team is. Like, I am extremely red, and I don't know how, but my whole team is yellow besides like 2 or 3 people. Dude, I have not got them filled. Sorry, sidetracked. But my whole team is yellow. So you need to know how to communicate with your team. So I can talk to my reds like, hey, what is wrong? Like, what's going on? Like, we need to know what's going on. We need to figure out whatever it may be, whatever it is. And I can talk to them that way. But with my yellow, if I talk to my yellow that way, you need to shut down. They'll shut down automatically. So you kind of need to know like what color your team is, how you can help them, and how you can lead them. That's going to be in a successful way. And I've learned personally that getting to know your team on a deeper level besides the business helps so much. Like, I know everything about my girls. Like, even just having like calling and having a conversation with them is amazing, and they appreciate that. Like, I wasn't doing that before like a couple months ago, and then truthfully that's why I feel like I have not promoted to double, is because I've been super selfish. I don't believe that I've been the leader that I should have been. I've been in this business 2 years, and now that I am being that friend to them, like, I just have awesome conversations with them, and it can be super hard, especially if you are red and you just want something so bad. But you're like, the 4 F's that I follow with this business is freedom, financial freedom, friendship, and fun. And you can't have any of those if you don't have a team to back you up. And if you don't have a team to lead right now, everything that you're doing right now and all the work you may be putting in right now is for your future team. And there's girls watching you. And so when you do get a team and you do get these girls underneath you, you're going to be the best dang leader that you can be, because you've learned from your mistakes, and you've learned like what you can do to become better. And there are just so many amazing leaders on here that have been super successful and can show you how to be that leader that you want to be. And like I said, if you don't have a team right now, don't worry, your team's coming. They're going to come like hell raising, and you're going to be able to be that leader that you want to be. And you're going to be able to show like, hey, I know how to do this. Let's do this together. So make sure that you're leading from the front. If you're not doing what you are expected of, or if you're not messaging and you're yelling at your team to do things, and you're not being a good leader. And I know that may sound harsh, but you have to lead by example. So what's that saying? Like, preach what you say or something like that. I don't know what it is, but something along those lines. Like, you have to make sure that you are following what you're saying. You're preaching what you're preach. Practice what you preach. Yeah. So make sure that you're doing that, and you are being the leader that you want your leaders to be. Like, I hope that my leader or my leaders or the girl underneath me end up succeeding in life as just as much as I want them to. And just make sure you know your team's why, and always lead from the front, and just fall in love with the business. If you're not in love with the business, then it's going to be really hard to lead. So if you're having a hard time, like, always, everything goes back to mindset and personal development. Just be vulnerable, love on your team. When you're having a hard day, tell them, like I tell my girls when I'm having a hard day, and like, hey, I need to get my personal development or my mindset right first. I'll talk to you in a little. So just make sure you're vulnerable with your team, love on your team, be the best dang leader you can be, because we know all these girls on here are like future ambassadors, and I just am super excited for this team.
I love it. Thank you so much. That's a good way to end. So obviously leadership is hard, and leadership is so worth it. That's why so few people are leaders, because it's hard, and it's easy to just like give up and be like, you know what, just not even going to do it, but it's something that you have to work at. And it's something that I am definitely learning a lot about. And I definitely have made so many mistakes in my leadership in the past, but being vulnerable and talking to your team about those mistakes is really big. And it's definitely made a difference in my perspective and in our team. And I'm super excited about it. So one of the big ways, if you want to grow in your leadership, do self-development, you know, and like one of my favorite leadership things is the Leadership Podcast by Craig Groeschel. I talk about it all the time because it's so good. He changed so much for me in 8 podcasts, the first 8 ones that he ever did. So good. So make sure y'all take a screenshot. We are done tonight. I'm going to stop the recording.